Top of the morning to you. Boss here. 20 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour in the morning. And, you can't get a wound to heal. You can't get an injury to heal if you don't allow the scab, you don't allow time for the scab to develop. You know what I'm talking about? When a wound is fresh, it's just happened, it's most painful when it initially happens, and then let's say you accidentally hit it or bump it or re-injure it somehow. The pain is just going to linger there. It's just going to lie there. The body doesn't have time to start developing everything it needs to start developing or healing itself. It doesn't have time to start developing a scab to cover the wound, and then you can start tending to it and getting it back to its original shape and form and abilities. Nobody who didn't personally know George Floyd, if you didn't personally know George Floyd, you had a certain amount of human distress. You were upset as a human. You were upset at simply the fact that another human being had been taken away. So you regard the mourning that way because you're a human being and another human being died at the hands of another human being. Authoritative figure or whatever the hell he was. What they trying to say now? He wasn't even a cop. He was some kind of stage clone or whatever, depending on who you listen to. So another human being died, and you feel the remorse that way. Okay. Then by the time you turn around and the channels start to change, and you start to hear some of the diminished shouts and some of the subsiding revolts, then you get the Rayshard Brooks murder happen. Right around the corner, damn near, you might as well say. Right around the corner. So that's the re-administered injury to an already existing wound, if you will. Now, far be it for me to say anything in the way of why these decorative officers, these upstanding policemen, met the fate that they did as a result of attempting to arrest Brooks, mind you now. Now, you have to look and you have to listen, and pretty much, basically, you know what you got to do? Depends on who you are. Let me talk to you for a second. You're going to have to wait for Candace Owens to come out of her cocoon and show her beetle-headed ass face and find out how to discredit Brooks the way she discredited Floyd. And then that will give you the reason why you shouldn't feel so bad about Brooks being shot down the way he was. Then she'll come and give you, or people like that will come and give you the backstory that wasn't presented initially as to why these officers, or the officer that did, decided to shoot this man in the back, not having any proof of him being armed in any way aside from the taser that they took from his punk ass in the first place. Mind you now. So Candace Brooks and every other subhuman person is going to come and let you know, oh, he got a record. This dude has been stealing penny candy and fucking, he jacked the ice cream truck one time. These things that you have to assume these officers were so instinctively sharp. They knew that letting this man get away from possibly being proven to have be intoxicated, it was worth it to kill him than to let him go. It made sense to not let him be unleashed into society because he's that much of a threat, armed with a fucking taser. We can't let his ass go. We can't let him get away. He done exposed our lack of any type of hand-to-hand combat skills. He already exposed the fact that we can't fucking fight. Now we got to stop him before he get to go tell that story. He can't go run tell that, and he can't go show everybody that he took a taser from us. We can't do that. We can't let that get away. This dude is public enemy number one right now. He is. Right? Isn't he? Why aren't these officers decorated for having stopped an armed terrorist from being unleashed into society, instead of being one on administrative leave and the other being immediately fired, and the freaking head chief of the damn police department resigned? Why is that the end result if what they did was so warranted and definitely necessary? Why? Why? You have to explain it to me. I'll be up and open for anybody with the commentary, because I know what some people is gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you fuckers right now. As soon as I expose this and put it out, don't come on my fucking page talking about no damn good shoot. All of you fucking prior military, former police, former deputies, former sheriffs, or whatever the hell your ass used to be and was, that still use terms that don't apply to what you do now, go to hell. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. Don't even do it. And I ain't saying don't do it because I can't accept the truth, or I don't understand, or I don't know, because I've done it. But I can speak as a human first before I assume any position to where that now makes me feel less than human about my fellow man being killed or shot, black, blue, pink, or whatever his color. You can't do that yet. So you're still standing on the podium of, well, he was justified by the law. He was justified as a police officer. What about as a human to another human? You can't relate to me on that level. Then I'm not ignorant to what you know as a police officer. I'm not a policeman anymore. And neither are you. And if you weren't on duty, you can't make that call. But what you can say is how you would feel as a police officer, it being two of you, Officer A-hole and Beat Dicks, can't keep this man down because they ain't got no fucking squabbles. And then when he run away, you got a fucking line of people in the Wendy's parking lot waiting to get their fucking fast food. And you decide to do the biggest PR move to destroy your fucking station by shooting a man as he runs away. And the two of you are running like your fucking shoestrings are tied together, probably how it used to be in school, trying to run after him, and you can't keep up. So we got to shoot him. We can't let him get away with our fucking taser. Everybody done seen us get our ass whooped. How we gonna save face? Shoot the man in the back. Shoot him. Shoot him. And why are you not? Then why aren't you receiving a medal, or why aren't you receiving some type of commendation? If that's the move, if what you did was proper etiquette, if that was proper technique, if that was protocol, why is this man fired? Why is there an administrative leave necessary? Why did this lady have to resign? Why? Stand behind what the hell you did. The only reason that they did what they did, as far as get rid of them 3 people, one on their own and the other one, he had to go. That shit was the biggest PR disaster you could ever do. Hell, everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. The Wendy's didn't close. It wasn't after hours. People still getting that shitty ass food. They saw you do this. They saw you do that. They also saw you get your ass whooped. They also saw the ridiculous, poor, underachieving efforts as police officers as they were. They also saw that. And then here he is running away. You probably did think that our last resort is to have to fire, but only because the first 4 or 5 things that normal officers would be able to do, you couldn't do. You couldn't pursue. You couldn't run him down. You couldn't subdue him when you had him, and it was 2 of you. Because you have to have that gun. You have to have that badge. You have to have handcuffs. You need that whistle and that baton. Because you are underperforming as a man. And without any of those things, it'd be just like high school all over again. You'd be getting your ass whooped just like you always did and would have. But as police officers, you're called to duty. And these things would aid you. You shouldn't have to need them. You shouldn't have to need them. But you do. I'm sorry, Officer Jackoff, if you can't doggone protect your own damn self. I don't want you protecting the city of Atlanta or the country at large. If the last thing you did was when you was in the Army or the Navy or the Air Force as a service member, then that's where you should stay, because there's enough people to help you in case you get in a tussle. So you won't have to, use your abilities to try to defend yourself. Because we now see, after you get out, you need a job in another uniform because you need something to help you to defend yourself. Because you're incapable of doing so. These people should never be hired to do this job. Because as you now see, it's witnessed after they done been on the force as long as they have, they don't have the ability to do so.